Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today I'm going to be continuing my Christmas movie marathon by reviewing yet another Christmas film, folks. This time around it's again another television made movie that premiered on TV again. So I know I reviewed quite a few of these during my Christmas-a-thon. But anyway, folks, this one is titled Must Be Santa. Oh yeah, folks. Yeah, there's been many different versions of Santa Claus over the years, and this just happens to be another different version of the character, folks. Just to make things clear. But of course, as usual, I do have to talk about the plot of this particular movie. Oh yeah, it's a Christmas-themed movie, as you might expect, folks. Oh yeah. In this holiday-themed family movie, Santa Claus decides the time has come for him to retire. However, the selection process for a replacement doesn't go quite as expected. The new Santa Claus, new Saint Nick, turns out to be this man, whom is so puzzled as everyone else at how he had got this job. And pretty much, the story continues from there. And he has to accept his duty, or what he has to do, and of course he has his own family to take care of. And yeah, of course, expect this to have some family, kid-friendly stuff going on, of course. Yeah, it's not the most exciting movie ever made, but this movie was pretty decent, I suppose, folks. I've seen this film with the Amazing Maddie, so Amazing Maddie, I really appreciate the fact that you watched this film with me. This film wasn't too bad, folks. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit that this film is a bit uneven, it's unbalanced sometimes, but it is a very heartwarming and very entertaining family movie. I do recommend it for the entire family to view it. And this one wasn't too bad, folks, I suppose. I mean, it's really corny at times, it's really sugarcoated at times, but it's not the worst. I've seen way worse than this, folks. Oh boy, I've seen Christmas movies that were far worse than this. Oh boy, trust me on that, folks. Case in point, look at this garbage of a movie. Yeah, this is definitely what have to be one of the absolute worst Christmas films I've ever reviewed and watched. Oh boy. So yeah, folks, this one wasn't too bad, I suppose. Yeah, it's a little clumsy at times, sure, but it's a bit on the sweet side, even if it's a bit sloppy here and there. Yeah, and it does need some work, but I did enjoy it. The premise of the film pretty much centers around the idea that the film opens with a new Santa who is old and ill, so he's on the hunt for a brand new Santa that's on this film. So a new one needs to be found rather soon, and not in the traditional way that people might think. So yeah, folks. Yeah, it's his own little thing going on, folks. And this film wasn't too bad. I did like the visual effects in which this film was using. I mean, okay, he's not gonna win any awards for best special effects or anything. As a matter of fact, he's not gonna win any awards for anything for that matter. But still, folks, I found this film to be rather solid, and the special effects wasn't too bad, folks, I guess you can say. So, altogether, folks, this definitely made a pleasant experience to watch. And okay, granted, it's not the traditional role of the whole Christmas Santa thing. And so, overall, folks, I can say this film was enjoyable. Not perfect, mind you, but enjoyable nonetheless. It has its own charm altogether, folks. The acting wasn't too bad, I guess. And even if some of the acting was a bit off, I can say some people did better than others. But overall, the acting was rather decent. But the actor who played Santa Claus, he's probably the best actor in the entire movie, if you ask me. He does a pretty good job as a whole. And so altogether, folks, I can say this was rather enjoyable. Yeah, this film did get some negative reviews because of the fact that Santa Claus is black in this one. You're a racist bastard for complaining about that. Like I said before, folks, there's been multiple different versions of Santa Claus anyway. So what if this version of the character is black? Big deal. It's fine. So that didn't bother me at all, folks. I was perfectly fine with it, folks. And they need a new Santa Claus anyway, so there's that. So anyway, folks, and I can say this one is definitely worth watching. And Despite the negative reviews in which this film had received. I mean, again, granted, it's not the greatest Christmas film I've ever seen, but it's definitely far from the worst. This one is pretty solid. I like the premise of this Christmas movie. It wasn't too bad. And overall, I can say that this film is nicely put together. It's heartwarming. It's definitely has moments. It's charming in a lot of ways. It's something that the entire family can watch, and of course I wouldn't mind watching again one of these days. I guess it's worth getting on DVD, I suppose, because overall, this film does have its moments, and I can see there was some actual efforts being done here, folks. I mean, yeah, it's a family movie. Like some of the kids might get annoying, folks. But again, it's a family movie. I guess what do you expect? Overall, folks, I can say, despite the fact that it has some faults to it, I did enjoy it, folks. Um, Overall, folks, I can say that some of the dialogue was pretty cheesy, but it was definitely well delivered with some of the actors and actresses. Some of the dialogue wasn't too bad, I suppose, despite some of it being a bit cheesy. The pacing wasn't too bad. The pacing was just fine, I suppose. It never bored me or anything. I mean, granted, the characters could have been more fleshed out and come off more three-dimensional. Sure, but the storyline is pretty basic, folks. And it might come off a bit unusual for some people, but just give the film a chance, folks. It's not nearly as bad as some of the people are making out to be. It's pretty solid. And I recommend it for those who have not seen it because it is a pretty decent family-friendly film, I guess. Surprisingly, I would enjoy this because of the fact that I do tend to avoid family-themed movies as a whole, uh, as if there was a plague or something. The musical score was pretty decent, and it does its job, folks. The musical score for this film was nothing spectacular, but it does its job. The music came in the precise moments in which it was supposed to come in. So yeah, it's supposed to be one of those movies that does rely on music. Music is a very important factor when it comes to films, folks. Yeah, even though film is definitely a visual medium, but having good music does help. And of course, overall, it does have some pretty decent music, folks. Yes, sir. So yeah, there was that, obviously. And again, folks, I recommend it for those who have not seen it. Just don't expect this to be some grand masterpiece. Must Be Santa gets an overall rating of a 6.1 out of 10. It gets a 6.1 out of 10 from me, folks. And of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. See ya. Oh yeah.